Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the, if it will focus, Art Nouveau Tarot by Matt Myers. Supportive Oracle Cards. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle Cards by Belinda Grace. Illustration by Elaine Marzin. What's that about? Is that the shave and a haircut thing? Shave and a haircut, 2 bits. Where's that going? What's that about? No idea. Honestly, we'll find out, I guess. That's Sweeney Todd? No. Was that a Sweeney Todd thing? I don't know. Why are we where are we going with that? Okay, I don't know. Okay. That's a really curious way to start a reading, isn't it? I don't know. Let's see where we're going. It's kind of making me laugh. Heart, Mind, and Balance, Wisdom, Ascended Masters, Tower, and what's the last one? The Six of Cups. Ooh, okay, I like this. This is where this is starting. Now, the Six of Cups is talking about memories, and the Tower is talking about things that were supposed to go well that just kind of worst case scenario happened in the past. Ascended Masters, Heart, Mind, and Balance, and Wisdom. All this is coming in at once. This is at the kickoff of this situation. Now, you might be well into it, but when this situation started, you already had reference where something similar had failed or had taken a turn in a direction that you didn't care for. So it may not have failed in the past, but it went into a direction that you didn't really like. And you're starting this situation when you got involved, you knew that was a possibility here, but you made peace with it right off the top. That's what I'm getting with the heart and mind balance. Kind of like, this could go south. This could go a little but I'm going to throw it in there. I'm going to throw my hat into the ring, and I'm going to give this a shot anyway. There's a lot of cards just pulling in. That's the information we want to say with that. Okay, good. The reason you're actually giving it a shot anyway, even though you know there's a chance of that, is that you got the Sun card with the Four of Wands. The situation and or the people that you're connecting with in this are very dedicated and you're very optimistic. It's kind of like, this is your jam. These are your type of people. This is your type of situation. You're like, there's a risk here, but this is kind of what I like to do. I don't want to just walk by this because there's a good potential of, it kind of seems like 60-40. 60% it could go your way, 40% it could go the other way. Odds are slightly in your favor. Nothing you would bank on, but hopeful, still hopeful. But you're like, when you see who you're going into this with, you're like, but this makes me feel like this could be, there might be a little bit more advantage even than that to this. Maybe it's 75-25. 75 to the good, 25% chance it's going to go technical term, you know. So you're going for it. You like the situation and or the people is what I'm getting, and that's why. And you're also feeling like there's a level of dedication to where you won't be stuck doing this on your own. If it does seem to go a little bit kaflunky, you're going to have the support and the willpower around you that other people will want to help you pull out of that. And you'll have the support. If there's any way to turn it around, you'll have that ability to do so. So you're feeling like, you know, there's a lot of possibilities here, and I don't want to walk away from this. I want to give this a shot. When it starts off, that's a weird, I never realized that that's how they depicted the Seven of Cups. They got this here. This lady in the background who seems to be not paying attention to somebody else sleeping on the job. Looks like that person's sleeping on the job to me. Seven of Cups usually is like the dream, like possibilities, opportunities, and dreams. But I'm getting like somebody who's preoccupied with something else, not paying attention to what's going on around them, kind of just going off on their own. You know, it could be a little bit of a dreamy aspect to it. Could have like a Pisces feel, and I say that as a Pisces, just saying. I am a Pisces. The King of Cups is telling me this energy is like somebody's not paying attention quite the way they should. but they're enjoying the situation. And especially with the King of Cups, I'm getting that seems out of place. Like, somebody that normally would be on point isn't. That it seems like this seems out of place to me. With the King of Cups, it's like somebody who's usually pretty good is not on point in this situation. They might be distracted. And what I'm getting behind this situation is the Ten of Swords. That's where there's devastation going on in the background. This might be distorting the view of the King of Cups. Something else might be going wrong. Okay, this makes sense to me. All right. This situation is going to hit a bump. The reason this situation is hitting a bump is because somebody who usually looks out for the situation, or somebody in a higher up level of control, is preoccupied with a different hiccup or problem, different problem. They're preoccupied with a different problem, so they're not paying attention to things as they normally would. So they're missing something. They're missing something with the Seven of Cups. I feel like they're missing something. I'm an intuitive reader. I just go with the energy I'm feeling, but I'm feeling like they're missing something, but it's because they're preoccupied with something else. They normally catch problems, but they miss it because of this. This is kind of the moment where you need to be on point. This is where you need to be diligent to realize, even though this other person seems to always take care of things and they seem to know what's going on, this is where you start feeling or seeing that something is off balance, and you need to bring that forward. Because I feel like there's talk around the situation. Oh, this doesn't look right. This looks like it's going south. Yeah, but the King of Cups, they know what they're doing. They'll handle it. Just give them a chance. I'm sure they got it under control. Let's just let them handle it and see what happens. But the Queen of Wands, or the Queen of Swords energy, is kind of like somebody pointing out a problem. And I feel like they want to go forward, but it's almost kind of like the Cups and Swords energy. Sometimes they just communicate in totally different ways. Cups communicates through emotion. Swords through thought. Like, Swords can be very analytical. Like, Gemini is very analytical and figures things out. Thinks very cerebrally. I don't know if I want to say that. You can get very deep and very technical with your thoughts. I'm going to say this as a Pisces, even though my rising sign is Gemini. As a Pisces, I'm thinking, like, sometimes things can get overly complicated, and the way you're seeing it and the way they're feeling about it might be different. So there might be a mismatch in communication. That might be another thing you might want to be aware of. Somebody here might be communicating to the King of Cups, things aren't going right, but the way they're communicating it, the King of Cups might not be taking it as seriously as they should be, because there might be some adversity there. This is the point where you might need to step in and help communication improve. You're more likely to match the Queen of Swords energy, so the person in charge may not be your bag of chips, but the person who's supposed to warn them or get them to listen, that's the one you might have to work with, because you can relate to them. You can talk to them on their level and relate to them on their level, and kind of give them some other ways to kind of communicate this to make the point more valid. Because it seems like they understand you and you understand them a lot better, and you can kind of drill it home, kind of like, I understand you're trying to warn the King of Cups, but it looks to me like the King of Cups is ignoring you. You might want to re-angle it this way and point out these other things. Instead of, talking to the situation, put the proof in front of the King of Cups and let them see for themselves where things are going a little kaflunky. So that way they wake up and they start dealing with this along with whatever else they got to deal with. I just feel like you give this person another way to do it. To kind of like, listen, you're not making the impact you need to. Here's another way to do it to hopefully make that impact. Now, you're actually helping this situation come together a lot better. You got the Lover's card with the Seven of Wands and the life journey on your side. Like this, when I feel life journey for you in this situation, this is like one of your gifts. This is one of the things that you help people with. Certain type of people who are very analytical or see things very technically, you can get in there and help them kind of like notice things that maybe it's slipping by this person, that they're not having the effect they need to, and they're just getting frustrated. You're like, here's a different way to handle that. They relate to you, but you can also explain to them a different way to handle the situation. This is like one of the things you're meant to do. You're creating success in this situation. Lover's right side up is also known as passing the test, the way I read it. It's kind of like, you know, acing a test, A+, you know what I mean? A++ if you want. The Seven of Wands is like you have to fight to make them understand, but you do successfully do that. This brings things together a lot better. The community comes together with acceptance. Like, you get people to kind of come together and stop working against each other and start working with each other, because they have to work with each other to fix this situation. Another reason you're coming forward is because you already have it in the back of your mind. I've been through something similar to this, and the Tower card screwed things up, at least screwed things up in relation to what I wanted to happen there. So I'm seeing the Tower card come again in this situation. Before we have another snafu like I've already experienced in a previous situation, let me get in here and fight for this and see if we can make this not fail. I didn't get involved with this just to let it start crashing and burning and go, oh, guess we're screwed. I didn't come into this for that reason. I came into this to help and to make it flourish if at all possible. You're helping people get along, and that's why. Now, there is this coming in here. There is some adversity still left over afterwards. You're gonna have to let them. You're gonna have to let people deal with it on their own. Because self-acceptance fell out of the deck when I was shuffling, but it fell out face down, so I didn't know it till I just popped it open right now. There's still gonna be some adversity after this is corrected. It's up to the people who are feeling upset about it afterwards to fix it themselves. That's not your bag of chips, is what I'm getting. Be aware of it. Like, for maybe the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups are just not getting along or still annoyed with each other after this, even though things are going better. Let that be. Don't try to play mediator between them. Step back, let them handle it themselves. They have to come to terms on their own. The facts are already there about what happened and why. If somebody wants to throw out 5,000 excuses about why this happened or why that happened, that's their problem. Don't get involved in it, is what I'm getting. Going forward to the end, like, this is going off, like, this is where this is going to lead to down the road a little bit. It's going to take some time to really form. You're going to seem to have a stronger presence in this situation. When I get automatic writing, I feel like you're more of the analyzer at some point. You're more looking at a situation over the top. You're seeing what's going right, and you're helping things stay in focus. That's these two cards. In the environment, your influence is going to help create balance, keep balance, and this is going to more show up when these other people accept their differences between each other and accept that they have to work together. Again, there's some adversity that has to be worked out, but that's on those people. Let them do it themselves. You're not going to be able to really do that, not effectively, because one of the things about people in adversity and people having issues with each other, sometimes they'll say, they'll be willing to say only so much, but still holding a lot behind the scenes that they're not willing to talk about, that they'll still hold that against somebody else. So even though it looks like you might feel like you can work it out or help them work it out, they're going to hide so much that you're not even going to know is there because they don't want you to. So just realize that's just a waste of your time, because it's not going to work. But I get when you are later on down the road, when you're more in that position where you're helping keep the balance and keep the situation working correctly and overseeing it and saying, okay, I see that, and let's be careful of this, and by this way, I'm seeing this over here, let's be careful of that too. That's when the balance comes in later. Later on down the road, you're supplying more balance to the situation. The situation will actually get a lot better and go the way you're hoping it will go. I just feel like they're talking about the time delay, though. Like, these people have to work out their own problems. You can't really help them do it for them, because they're not going to share everything they need to. And you're not going to... You might have little inklings, like, wait, there's more to this. But if they're just giving you half-truths, or if they're just omitting flat-out complete pieces of information, it just makes it more of a puzzle, and it's just a challenging puzzle that you just might get faulty information about to begin with. And you know, if you get a lot of faulty information leads to faulty responses or faulty action. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. So I feel like that's the big thing here, because you're going to make a great impact, but when these people have adversity after the fact, leave it to them. Later on down the road, you're going to help oversee everything. I really feel that coming in. And then they're more open to you, but then even then, If these people have adversity between them, stay out of it. Let them deal with each other. Just literally, like, don't get involved on either side with it. Are we good? Okay. I'm going to shut this down here. Is there something left? I feel like there's something a little bit left. Did I miss something at the end? Meaning of angels, the love, and the chakra balancing. I must have missed something here. Because I feel like you seem to be moving up in the ranks. And maybe that's what I'm missing here. Your position in this current situation where you're helping catch the ball is good, but it's better later. I'm also getting like people will listen to you more. People seem to take your opinion more seriously. This is another reason you don't want to get involved in little squabbles. Be careful, because with these two people, I feel like they're always going to be squabbling off and on, off and on, off and on. There's something up with that. Stay away from it. Realize that they look at you. Each side looks at you in a positive light. You need each side to work with you in a positive way. There's something about this, because I feel like both sides are going to kind of want to pull you into their drama. I think that's what I'm missing. Or is there something else? All right, so if I'm looking at this scene, I'm seeing it play out, and I'm almost feeling like they're wondering if you know what's going on. Don't play into that game either. Don't play into that game either. Because I see, like, when I'm seeing it, it seems like, I know it's not going to be an office environment for everybody, but for the ones I'm seeing that this hits, and maybe this applies to family situations and friend situations too. Like, I'm seeing somebody kind of like watching to see if you know what they're doing. They're trying to see if you figured out what they're doing because they're messing with each other. Don't get trapped into that because they're messing with each other, but they also kind of want to pull you in, and it's almost they want you to help side with them to mess with the other one. I don't know. Don't get involved with that. Is there anything else I'm missing here? There's a little bit of tomfoolery, I guess you would call it, going on in this situation, and there always will be. Don't let your resources, don't let your mind get caught up in that, because it's kind of alluring. Like, it's kind of like the mystery. Like, what's the problem between you two? What's really going on there? It's almost like a soap opera in a sense. Kind of like, why did these two people do this? What's really going on there? It's a little intriguing. It might be a little intriguing, you know, like a soap opera. It's one of those things where you're probably looking at it from the outside at some point going, I really should stay away from that, but I'm really kind of curious what's going on at the same time. Do yourself a favor. Like, is that what yeah, they're saying? That's exactly what they're saying. You're going to want to. It's going to be really intriguing. You're going to be like, what is going on with them? Like, it's going to be itching at you little by little, because over time you're going to keep seeing things. And just after a while, you're going to be like, this keeps going on with them. What is going on there? No, I'm telling you, stay out of it. You don't want to know nothing. You really don't. Anything else? All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down now. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.